I'm Taylor Zarzour, and this is the OTP. Coach, through 2 weeks, your team is fighting hard. You're building a culture I know that you are proud of, but I also know you want wins to come too.
That's all that really matters in this business at the end of the day is how do you put yourself in position to win games. We've been in great position through 3 quarters in the first 2 games against good football teams. I think we went toe-to-toe with teams I think are both playoff caliber football teams. Had chances, had opportunities, and we just haven't found a way to close the game out. In really any phase, offense, defense, or special teams, that we haven't made the play to help us win the game so far. And a lot of really great things about how we're playing, what we're doing, the things that are happening, the improvement that was made from week 1 to week 2. Excited about those things and really confident that we're really close to being the type of football team I think we're capable of being, but thus far don't have the results to show for it, and that's disappointing. And I know people want wins and they want to see all those things, and I know they're coming, but we got to do a little bit better job of finishing football games in all 3 phases.
You've been around this league your entire life, and you have seen teams being built, teams that unfortunately didn't have the right kind of culture and no one ever bought in and it didn't work. And then you've been part of teams that did build a culture and ultimately went to the Super Bowl and won it. What would you say about the culture you have here right now?
I think all of the characteristics we look for from a football team standpoint, we exemplify when it comes to how we work every day, what we do in the building, how the guys interact with each other, how we treat each other, the effort and intensity that we play with. All of those things are what you want it to look like. We just have to find a way to close out a game when we're in striking distance. And thus far, through 2 weeks, haven't been able to do that yet. And I think that's going to come, and that comes with the confidence. And we have a lot of young players playing, and there's some things that we can do better from a coaching perspective to put us in a better spot. But I do think that when it does click and we make the play or 2 necessary to win the game, I think we have a chance to hopefully get some momentum rolling and get a few of them. I think that's sort of the idea. And all the teams I've been on that have done this type of thing and have had some struggles and some battles, but all of a sudden you hit a streak where you get hot and things start clicking and you find a way to win a few in a row.
You're a big sports guy, so am I. You text me every once in a while about golf. We love baseball, basketball. I would argue having the right quarterback is the most important thing in all of sports. I bet you wouldn't disagree, given what you've coached through the majority of your life. And certainly, I thought this the entire offseason, but I really felt it in this game at home at Nissan Stadium. The Tennessee Titans have their quarterback.
Yeah, Cam has been everything that we would hope that he could be, especially early on, the first 2 games of his career against some good defenses. Got better from week 1 to week 2. Did some really impressive things from a pocket movement and accuracy standpoint. He's getting better at a really rapid rate, starting to understand how to play NFL football from the quarterback position. The sky is the limit for his ability. I mean, he really has a chance to be a excellent quarterback in this league, and our job is to help him get there and keep growing through the process and learning. But everything I've seen from him has been incredibly exciting.
Yeah, and I know that you said in your press conference on Monday, one of the key things that a new quarterback that has a lot of talent needs is an effective ground game, so that you respect the ground game, so that the quarterback can take shots in the passing game. What do you think of what Tony Pollard has done the first 2 games?
Everything that we would have hoped from Tony. He runs hard. He puts the ball in the right spots. He's got great vision as a runner. He's got great toughness as a runner. I think we did a really excellent job interior offensive line-wise yesterday, being able to move the interior of their defense. I think Kevin Zeitler and Lloyd and Pete really did a nice job of moving the line of scrimmage and giving Tony some softness to find in the running game. But been very pleased with Tony. He's everything that he was for us a year ago. I mean, he's a productive back. He's been a productive back his whole career. He does things the right way, and he's a big part of what's going to ultimately be, I think, a pretty good offense as the year gets going and rolls along, because we get better every week, and the ability to move the line of scrimmage and run the football is paramount to your ability to help the quarterback balance out the offense and do all the things that allow you to play off of those looks in the passing game. So was pleased with that part of the performance.
And while I have a second coach and I'm thinking about it, how about an update on Tajay Spears, who should be back in a few weeks, right?
Yeah, this will be week of his IR stint. You can return and start after week 4. So we got 2 this week and next, and then hopefully he starts his return to play. And when you come off of that IR after 4 weeks, you didn't have a 3-week window to be activated. So hopefully he's far along from that process. We'll see where he's at, but excited to potentially get him back soon.
Yeah, and have him develop even more depth.
When you bring Hellman's Creamy Buffalo Chicken Dip to the watch party, you can cheer too loud, or block the TV, or be a couch coach, and no one will eject you from the game. That's a Hail Mayo. Hellman's, the official mayo of the Tennessee Titans. This summer, SeatGeek has your ticket to the best live concerts in Nashville at Nissan Stadium. SeatGeek makes it easy to catch world-conquering tours and high-wattage performances from your favorite artists all summer long. SeatGeek has the best seat, your seat, for an unforgettable summer. From rock royalty to rap superstars, R&B to country, find it all on SeatGeek, the official ticketing partner of Nissan Stadium. It's your summer. Make it count. SeatGeek. Hey Titans fans, with a Kroger Boost membership, you'll score big with double fuel points, free delivery, and lots more. Go to Kroger.com/boost for details. Kroger, the official grocer of the Tennessee Titans. Tighten up. Now back to the OTP.
There in the backfield, and it's not just Cam Ward as a rookie that has looked impressive. You're counting on a lot of these guys. Chim Dike in special teams, but also now on offense. Alec Manor. Everybody's going to talk about the touchdown catch. The David Tyree-like force pin the ball to your helmet catch that he made preceding the touchdown catch was certainly impressive. He had a couple of good ones against Denver, too. Gunnar Helm has already been a big factor in this offense. You're counting on a lot of these rookies.
Yeah, and they've answered the bell so far. For that rookie class to come in and produce, I mean, Chim's been outstanding as a returner, both as a dual returner on top of his kickoff return and punt return. I mean, a 71-yarder in the opener and a kickoff return, and a touchdown as a returner with the punt that got called back. But to see him do that, and then we give him the ball in a bunch of different ways offensively. I mean, reverses and screens and all the things that you try to get a guy with that sort of ball carrying ability. He's done a really nice job. And then, I mean, Alec's shown that he is a big, strong physical presence in the boundary as an X receiver, and that's what we felt like we needed. That's why we drafted him as a good complement to Calvin, and he's done those things. He's gone up against these corners and made contested catches and found ways to produce on the football, and that's hard to do as a young player in your first 2 games, to have the type of target share and production, and to see that has been really encouraging. Gunner's been really solid too. He's been a much better blocker, I think, than he probably is going to get credit for, but he's been an integral part of our offense early as well. So got a lot of young guys doing things the right way and playing pretty good football for us.
Coach, defensively, I felt like the defense had as stiff of a challenge as you're going to see in the National Football League, not only with Matt Stafford. I know you have a ton of respect for him, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Last week on this show, you said he's one of the 5 best in the league, and soon to be a Hall of Famer one day. But he's not the only guy on that offense that's going to be a Hall of Famer. Devontae Adams, they've added to that offense. Puka Nacua is off to quite possibly the best first 3-year start we've ever seen. What did you think of your defense's ability to compete against that offense?
Yeah, we held them in check for 3 quarters. You know, I think they're going to make their plays. That offense is going to make plays. They're going to gain explosive plays. They do a great job with their play action game and making you fit the run and fit the play action, which is hard. I thought our guys did a pretty dang good job of it. You know, and you're gonna lose one-on-one reps to the receiver of Devontae Adams' caliber. I mean, he's gonna make his plays too, and I thought we bottled their offense up for the most part for a majority of the game, and then got away from us at the end. And I think that's been our biggest area of focus: is how do we finish the game better in all 3 phases, and how do we make that play that wins us the game. You know, that puts us in position to go take a lead, or we score on defense, or we find a way to get a long touchdown drive offensively to kick us over the top late in the game. And I think that's what we're working towards. We haven't found that yet for the first 2 weeks, but was really pleased with how the defense played early on. They really did a good job against the run game. That offense does a nice job of staying manageable. You know, they don't get in 3rd and long very often, so it's hard to get a lot of your pressure packages up because they're in 3rd and 4 or 5-ish most of the time. But they proved that what they showed is that they're a playoff caliber offense, and they made the plays that needed to be made down the stretch to win the game, and ultimately we didn't.
Jeff Simmons in the backfield quite a bit in the game. So was Draymond Jones. Cody Barton had an interception, and L'Jarius Sneed a full football game back as one of the dynamic cover corners in the National Football League.
Yeah, those guys did a good job. We generated some pressure, and again, part of what makes that offense hard is that they run the ball and play action, so they keep your rush a little bit at bay. But Jeff has been through 2 games everything that we expect Jeff to be. He's been disruptive. He's been dominant against the run. He's made the pocket muddy for quarterbacks. He takes on the slide of the offensive line and protection. He's double teamed all the time. We've done a good job of crushing the pocket. Need to find more opportunities. And then to see L'Jarius go out there and do some really good things in that game was really positive. He's getting back closer to the player that he is used to being, coming off his injury and lack of practice time leading up to it, playing against a really, really good player. And they've had a lot of matchups over the years, and I think L'Jarius had a bunch of really good wins, and Devontae had some wins. And that's how that goes when you play, kind of one-on-one coverage with 2 really good players.
Going into this season and the offseason, you talked about fixing some things and improving things. And I know some, as you have already said in these few minutes, still have work to do. Special teams was one that you really talked about in this offseason. Through the first 2 weeks, Coach, John Bones Fossil, in every single special teams way, seems like he has improved what you wanted to see from kicking the ball, punting the ball, kicking field goals, covering returns, etc.
Yeah, I think the influx of really a new specialist group is a large part of that. Bones is a phenomenal special teams coach. His track record is proven. He really does a good job with teaching guys how to do the job the right way, which is great. But the performance on the field has been really, really good. I think we've been very solid in special teams. I think Bryce Oliver has been tremendous as a gunner, covering punts. Bryce's ability to cover is largely due to the fact that Johnny Hecker's been fantastic as a directional and hang time punter. I thought his performance through 2 games has been fantastic. And then Joey Sly's perfect on his field goal attempts, and some long ones too. They haven't been easy. But I think that specialist group, when you talk, and then you add Chim in as a returner, that talent level in all of those spots, I think has really put us over the top and really jump-started that improvement. We've gotten great play from Mike Brown and Jalen Harrell. I think Jalen Harrell's gotten, 4 special teams tackles through 2 games, which is really productive in special teams. So the guys that have been here have improved. The additions have really taken us over the top in the improvement areas, and I've been really pleased with that phase of the game overall. I think there's some things we got to clean up in general. We've had a couple more penalties there than you would like, but I think from top to bottom, it's a unit that people watch and go, man, we got our hands full this week.
And maybe this is really getting into the weeds here, but with the new kickoff rules, fielding those kicks is becoming more challenging as they land in the landing area, and the kickers are calling them dirty kicks, trying to kick them so they're harder to field. There's a lot of work going into that.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that Chim's a baseball player by background. He's good at tracking balls down at full speed, and the kicker from the Rams is probably one of the better ones when it comes to hitting those dirty kicks where the ball moves and it's like a knuckleball coming off, and then it hits and it bounces. And I thought Chim handled a couple of those perfect, and then there was 1 or 2 that were hard, and he's back there as a single returner too as well. So he's got a lot of field to cover for those types of kicks. Because what ends up happening is they're trying to put the ball in harm's way. It gives them more time to cover the kick, and the other part is they now have the minor touchback rule, which now the ball goes to the 20 as opposed to the 35. So as kickers are experimenting more with these kicks and trying to land the ball in the landing zone and have it roll into the end zone, you're playing a field position game, and they're guys that can hit them consistently. It's a weapon.
Home is at the forefront of all we do. It's why we're so committed to caring for the places and spaces in which we work and live. Ashley, the official furniture provider of the Tennessee Titans. Genesis is the first and only official jeweler of the Titans, having earned that title since 2006. Titans players, coaches, and fans trust Genesis for the absolute best in selection, quality, customer service, and of course, value. For diamonds, engagement rings, designer fashion jewelry, and the largest selection of luxury pre-owned Rolexes in Tennessee, Genesis is the hands-down winner. Genesis Diamonds in Green Hills and Cool Springs, the official jeweler of the Tennessee Titans. Little Caesars is the official pizza partner of your Tennessee Titans. Download the Little Caesars app and get your favorites delivered today. Delivery fees apply. Now back to the OTP.
If you put your knee down in the end zone, we're going to the 20. If it goes through the end zone, then obviously it goes to the 35. So a lot of adjustments there, a lot of new strategy to think about on the field, and if you're broadcasting the game.
Yes.
We're excited to broadcast the Titans versus the Colts game on Sunday at high noon here in Nashville. Colts whipped the Dolphins in week number 1 and had a crazy win against the Denver Broncos. They thought they'd lost. And then there's a penalty, a leverage penalty called that gave the Colts new life to kick a 45-yard game-winning field goal instead of losing after missing a 60-yard field goal. What do you think of the 2-0 Indianapolis Colts?
Hard to debate how well they've played offensively. Certainly, I think they've punted like once in 2 games or
some times.
Crazy amount of offensive production. I think Daniel Jones is doing exactly what they wanted him to do. They have talent at their skill positions. Jonathan Taylor's running the ball the way he always does. Their offensive line has played well. I think I've got a ton of respect for Lou Anarumo, a longtime coworker of mine in Cincinnati. Been a part of a lot of really big wins with him as a defensive coordinator on the other side of the ball, so I know what he's capable of. I know how good of a coach he is and the difference in scheme that it brings to the Colts. We got our hands full. It's a big divisional game at home. You got to win your divisional home games. Those are big spots in the season that you have to capitalize on. And we'll have all our full energy and effort directed at them today here, and 20 minutes or so when I get done with all my media. We'll be full bore into the Colts, and again, good football team playing really good football, and we're going to have to be at our best to beat them at home.
Excited for it, Coach. A great opportunity on Sunday to get a win in Nissan Stadium. I know how badly you want it. We all do too. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
For Brian Callahan, I'm Taylor Zarzour. This has been the OTP.